You guys know I love rankings, and ESPN just dropped their top 50 players in Major League Baseball right now. So I gotta go take a look at this list, react to it, give you my thoughts and opinions. ESPN used to be the worldwide leader in sports recently, especially with baseball. They've not been giving it the love it deserves. So let's see if the former great sports company ESPN actually knows some ball today. And getting us started off at number 50, Matt Chapman of the Giants. What he's done so far, Chapman's enjoying another typical season. Yeah, I mean, Chapman is really good. I think Chapman's a very good player. I think he is definitely a borderline top 50 guy. The defense is phenomenal at third base. In San Francisco, the offensive slash line's never going to look great, but overall, compared to the league, when you make the adjustments, it's going to be pretty good. I could buy Matt Chapman as a top 50 player so far this season. He's really good. He's a great player. Yeah, 760 OPS, 120 OPS plus with that defense. Totally buy that. For number 49, Alex Bregman. I'm going to be honest, I think Bregman is a little bit too low on here. I think Bregman has a chance to be a top 30 player with what he's done in Boston this season. Bregman's been incredible. I mean, you're looking at a guy who's got a 921 OPS, a 153 OPS plus. He plays good defense at third base, runs the bases well. This is a complete player. He plays third. He could play short if you need him to. He could play second base. He's a utility king if you need him to. He plays a great third. There's a reason they got rid of Rafael Devers. Alex Bregman's just been better at every facet of the game besides hitting home runs, and it's mostly because he hasn't played as many games this year. Bregman's having a phenomenal year. I think this is actually way too low for Alex Bregman. I think he is easily a top 30 player right now in the league, especially with the Red Sox in that park. He plays so well. At number 48, Cody Bellinger of the Yankees. Ooh, yeah, I think Cody Bellinger's a borderline top 50 player. He can play center field. He can play first. He can play left. He has great defense at every single position. This season with the Yankees, he's been hitting really well. Who saw that coming? Cody Bellinger in that ballpark having better offensive numbers? Crazy. I don't think we're seeing Cody Bellinger ever back to that MVP caliber that he once was, or even as good as he was in 2023 with the Cubs, but this is an all-star caliber player, a guy who plays great defense, can steal bases, gets on base, has power. He's really good. I like Cody Bellinger as a player. I do think he is a borderline top 50 guy. Number 47, Matt Boyd. Whoa, Matt Boyd getting some love. Okay, Matt Boyd. Of course, I do my pitcher rankings differently. I don't tend to fill my top 50 players in baseball with pitching. That being said, this season, Matt Boyd, 2.46 ERA. The FIP is great. He's been awesome for the Cubs. He has a low whip. I don't think Matt Boyd is a top 50 player for me. He just doesn't strike out enough guys to be in that top 50 category, that conversation. Obviously, right now, this season, he's probably a top 50 player, and I guess that's what this ranking is. Maybe I'm being an idiot. Maybe Matt Boyd is a top 50 player. I have to think about right now, and I don't want to think about what he's going to do next year, right? This is at this exact moment. Ranking baseball's top 50 players. Is it right now? It's just top 50 player? I don't know. This one's an interesting one. I don't think Matt Boyd would make my top 50 player list, but in terms of production value this season, yes, he has been one of the 50 most valuable players production-wise this season. So, okay, that's kind of where we stand. Number 46, we've got George Springer. George Springer's been awesome. The Blue Jays have been awesome this year. I was a big non-believer, even though every single year I do place a bet with my friend James. Check out his YouTube channel, James Shiano, if you like fantasy baseball content. We make a bet every single year on teams that have crazy odds at the beginning of the season. We did the Rangers a few years ago. They won the World Series. We did the Mets last season. They made it to the NLCS. We've got the Blue Jays this year, and it feels pretty good, and George Springer's a huge reason why. As dead in the water as I thought he was as a player because he looks so old, he is so back. He's rejuvenated. Him in the DH spot has been great for the Blue Jays. Springer's looked fantastic. He's been incredible. And I do think right now, yeah, you can make an argument he's a top 50 player in the league. Number 45, we've got James. That's so low. Why are we putting James Wood so low? I don't get it. James Wood is like a 140 OPS plus guy. He's going to hit 30 plus home runs this year. He's played completely fine defense. I get he strikes out a lot, but he gets on base a ton. 841 OPS. I think that this is simply way too low for James Wood, and maybe it's because I'm a James Wood super fan, and I've been a huge fan of his ever since he was going into the draft. I think James Wood's a beast. I think he's a top 25 player. I think 45 is way, 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 way too low. I don't see this one. I don't know why he's so low. Again, top 25. I think at the absolute worst, top 35 if we're getting crazy. Wood's a beast. Next up at number 44, Geraldo Perdomo. Listen, I don't think he's a top 50 player, but this season, Geraldo Perdomo's been awesome, and I do think going into my rankings next season, I really have to consider where to put him. He's hitting for more power this year. We know he's a great defensive shortstop. He gets on base. He doesn't strike out. So he's not just an average merchant anymore. He's got some pop in that bat. He's got the extra base hits. He's stealing bases. He's playing good defense. Like 13 homers, 832 OPS, 129 OPS plus with good defense. This is a really fair ranking for Geraldo Perdomo because I do think that there's a conversation for it. Going into the season, I would have thought you're crazy, but he's made real improvements this year. He looks great. Number 43, Bo Bichette. Ooh, do I want to put Bo here? He is still so god-awful at defense. Like, he is one of the worst defensive shortstops in baseball. OAA hates him. He's hitting close to 300 with an 800 OPS. I'll be honest, I don't think that makes him a top 50 player, and I definitely don't think it puts him ahead of Geraldo Perdomo. Putting him in front of James Wood is crazy. This is actually, I'm saying it out loud now, putting him ahead of George Springer is crazy. This is without a doubt the worst ranking. And this is not even being a Bichette hater. This is just trying to bump up these other guys. I think there's no world where Bo Bichette's ranked 43rd ahead of these guys. No way. A soft MVP push? Bichette won't win, but deeper we get into the season, the hotter he seems to get. He's doing this for the Blue Jays team. I know he was great recently, but I don't think he's a top 50 player. I think he's good. I think he's a really good player. Top 50 is a lot. I don't know. I don't put him ahead of Perdomo right now. I don't. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. Maybe I'm being crazy. Blue Jays fans, I swear this isn't Blue Jays hate. I know you're going to come for me. I know he's been hot the last few months, but I don't know if he's a top 50 player. I don't know if he's ahead of the guys he's been listed ahead of. Okay, let's keep moving on. Number 42, we've got Pete Alonso. I think this is a fair spot for Pete. I think he is a borderline top 50 player. I think from this 42 to 50 range, anywhere inside of there, you can't really go wrong. He's going to hit 30, 40 home runs a season, driving 100 RBIs, have an OPS around 850 to 900 every single season. Of course, he plays first base. There's not much defensive value there, and he's a horrible base runner because he's so slow. But at the end of the day, Pete is one of the better power hitters in Major League Baseball. He is a good baseball player. I think that this is a fair spot. I think you probably could have even gone closer to 50, and I would have been fine with it too. He's not better than James Wood, though. He's not better than George Springer this season. Like, I think that the rankings are getting a little bit murky right now. Okay, number 41, Jacob deGrom. Let's go, King. Love to see Jacob deGrom doing well. I think that this is a fair spot for him. I think he's a top 50 player. I think what we've seen this year is not vintage deGrom because he's not going balls to the wall 102 miles an hour on every single pitch. He's not striking out 40% of the league. But this more controlled, less injury-prone version of Jacob deGrom is good for him. It's good for the Rangers. It's good for baseball. He's definitely a top 50 player. Love to see him getting some love here. At number 40, getting the 40 started, Freddie Freeman. Yeah, Freddie Freeman's still a top 50 player. He's definitely falling a little bit further down the list. We know he's dealing with some injuries right now. We know this hasn't been the best season for Freddie, but he's still rocking 852 OPS. He still has a 300 average. He's probably not the MVP perennial player that he once was in terms of Major League Baseball, but he is definitely still one of the best first basemen in the league. Definitely still a top 50 and top 40 player. I'm cool with that. Number 39, Nathan Eovaldi. Yes, love showing Nathan Eovaldi some love. Nathan Eovaldi is underrated as hell in baseball. Eovaldi just goes out and throws, and he does really well this season. A 1.71 ERA, a whip under 1 at .88. He's missed some time because of injury, but we're looking at a guy 116 innings. By the end of the season, it's going to be around the 140, 150 mark, and if he carries an ERA under 2 for the season, I think it's a real talk about Cy Young conversation for him, especially if the Rangers make the playoffs. He's been using the split finger a lot. The four seam still got life. The breaking balls are really good, especially that curveball. Nathan Eovaldi's really good. I love to see that he's on this list. Again, because these are rankings right now. Number 38, Logan Webb of the Giants. Okay, Logan Webb, he's good. He's going to have a low 3 ERA. He's going to give you innings. He's going to give you 200 plus a season. He's going to get ground balls. Logan Webb is a really good starting pitcher, very underrated in baseball. I think this is a totally fine spot to have him. Hand up, I've even underrated him at times, like very underrated him. Going into the season, I ranked him way too low. Who do we got at number 37 here? We're going to have Eugenio Suarez. Yeah, I mean, we're looking at a guy who's going to hit 40 to maybe even 50 home runs this year if he does get hot with the Mariners. At third base, he's a pretty average defender. Hasn't been great this year, but was good in years past. He strikes out a ton, but he hits for power, and that's what you want. I think that Eugenio's probably more in that 40 to 50 range, but this is pretty close. I mean, I'm being very nitpicky if I'm going to be upset about this one. Number 36, Corey Seager. Corey Seager's still great, and he's also playing fantastic defense this year, which is the biggest surprise. Like, defensively, didn't expect to see Corey Seager having one of his best defensive seasons. Offensively, it's been a step back from the last 2 years, but adding on that defense makes him a more complete player. He's definitely still a top 40 player in the league. Number 35, Joe Ryan. I think Joe Ryan's got to go a little higher, right? Like, looking at pitchers in the league, 2.7 ERA, low FIP, strikes out a ton of batters, has great stuff. The fastball is absolutely electric. I do like that he's had a Matt Boyd and Jacob deGrom. I do think is he? Yeah, he's probably better than Jacob deGrom a little bit right now. I think where he's at is pretty fair. Now that I say it out loud, 35, there's probably 34 players better than Joe Ryan, especially when there's a few more pitchers that need to get onto this list. I'm interested to see more of the pitchers that go ahead of him. That's what could make me mad about this ranking. Number 34, Mr. Kurtz. You won't get me to say that full name. I almost did. You won't get me to. Nicholas Kurtz, number 34. Yeah, totally. By 100%. He's unbelievable. This guy is so ridiculously good. What he's doing as a rookie he's crazy. He's rocking a 999 OPS, a near 400 on base percentage, 300 average, 23 homers in under 300 at bats with an OPS plus at 171. This is arguably the best first baseman in baseball. He's so good. All right, number 33, we've got Bryce Harper. So I think that this is probably trying not to get too high on Mr. Kurtz, not too low on Bryce Harper, but I do think we have a legitimate conversation to make that Mr. Kurtz is the best first baseman in the league. Now, Harper has been doing it for years. I mean, we're looking at a guy who's going to be a Hall of Famer first ballot. He's a fantastic player. He's still having a really good year. It's not the heights that we've seen with Harper in the past, but he's still a 130 OPS plus guy and 850 OPS at the plate. Mr. Kurtz is having a better season. Bryce Harper has the better career. I'm okay with them putting him one spot ahead. I think that is completely fine to give the two-time MVP a little benefit of the doubt. Number 32, Trey Turner. Trey Turner's having a really good year. Quietly having an amazingly good year. Like, he's a guy who, while at the plate, he's been more of a batting average merchant because the OPS plus is 109. Defensively, Trey Turner's been great. He's stealing bases again, which makes those singles more valuable, which is why that OPS is probably a little misleading because of what the base running is like with Trey Turner and taking those extra bases when he gets singles, takes walks, turns them into doubles or triples even. I don't know if I'm putting Trey Turner this high. I do think he's more in that Perdomo Bichette range right now. I think this could be a little bit high for Trey Turner, but he's a very good baseball player. He's top 50, no doubt. Number 31, my favorite number, Gunnar Henderson, dropping quite a bit. We know Gunnar Henderson probably was a top 10 player on ESPN rankings coming into the season, and I'll be honest, I think this is a bit of an overcorrection. He's got a 130 OPS plus. The power numbers aren't what you had hoped this season. They're a little bit low, but it does feel like a little bit of an overcorrection. I do like Gunnar as a player. I guess not hitting 37 home runs this year is going to take him down a bit. Maybe he is more of a top 25 guy rather than top 10, especially because the defense at shortstop is a little bit sus at times. I don't love this ranking, but again, let's continue to react to what's going on here. At number 30, top 30 started, that is Max Fried. Okay, I'm fine with it. I mean, he's been really bad over the last month and a half. He's not been going deep into games, but Max Fried is a good pitcher. I think because he's been a Yankee and a Brave in his career, I definitely let my Mets bias skew my opinion of him. I don't know how much better he is than Jacob deGrom. I don't think he's better than Joe Ryan. I'll be honest, I don't really think Max Fried is better than Nathan Eovaldi either. I think he belongs in this top 50 list. I don't think he's better than Logan Webb. Feels a little bit high for Max Fried, honestly, if I'm going to be telling you the truth. I think this article came out on August 11th, so a few days ago, but even still, he's a top 50 player in the league. I don't think he's ahead of the pitchers, though, that were previously behind him right now. Feels like a little crazy, honestly. Number 29, who's going to be inside the top 30? Number 29, Kyle Stowers. I love this. Totally buy that he's a top 50 player. I don't know where he's going to end up in my rankings just yet at the end of the season, but everything that we've seen from him, it's sticky, it's real, the power's legit, the barrel rates are legit, the plate discipline's legit. Everything about Kyle Stowers screams really, really good player for the next few years. That is a great pickup by the Marlins. Love to see him getting the love here. I think putting him ahead of Gunnar is a little crazy, but again, if this is for right now in this season, yes, 100%. Number 28, Framber Valdez, the underrated king. Love Framber Valdez. He's got an ERA below 3 again. He throws 6-7 innings every single start. He goes deep into games. He gets ground balls. He doesn't let up that many base runners. He's just a really, really good pitcher, and I love to see Framber Valdez here inside the top 30. Number 27, Yoshinobu Yamamoto. Maybe. Yeah, you know what? I'm fine with it. Yoshinobu Yamamoto's gross. The stuff is ridiculous. There's been some injuries this year, which is why the innings numbers are a little bit low, and the Dodgers are playing that 1,000 IQ game where it's he doesn't need to go deep into games now so we can have him for the playoffs, and they're going to be there. Yamamoto is good. The stuff is electric. I'm cool with it. I am cool with it. I don't know if I put him ahead of Framber. It's fine. They're close. I'm being nitpicky. Number 26, Byron Buxton. Whoa. Really? Buxton this high? Buxton's been really good this year. 145 WRC plus, which is basically a 145 OPS plus. Same thing. Sometimes I just jump back and forth. 24 homers, 17 stolen bases, playing good defense out in center field. Is Byron Buxton a top 25 player? 904 OPS is crazy. Yeah, he's playing really well this year. Okay, I'm cool with it. I'm a Buxton guy. He's been healthy, so stay healthy, Byron Buxton. It's good for baseball, good for your career. He's very talented. I guess sometimes seeing these guys ranked so highly, it is shocking because I don't really think about my player rankings until I do them at the end of the year. I'm not like, ooh, who's the 26th player in baseball on August 15th? That just doesn't compute in my brain. But okay, Buxton, I see you. Top 25 starter Francisco Lindor. Listen, I love Lindor, but I do think that this is a little high right now. If I'm going to be critical of Bo Bichette and some of the other shortstops, I have to be critical of Francisco Lindor. There have been some concerning things in his game this year that make me think he's maybe not a top 25 player anymore. I think he's still top 50 for sure, but he might be more in that 35 to 40 range rather than top 25. I love Lindor. The defense is still great, but there are some concerning things going on at the plate, and he has been ice cold for like 3 months. But he's out there every day. He's consistent. I will give Buster Olney that. He is consistent. He's going to be a Hall of Famer. Okay, number 24. Who are we going with here at number 24? Vlad Guerrero Jr. Okay. I will say, when I said Mr. Kurtz was the best first baseman, I completely blocked out that Vlad Jr. exists. He's the best first baseman in baseball. There's a conversation to be had with Mr. Kurtz, I think. I think those are the top two guys right now, unless I'm forgetting somebody else. But Vladdy's awesome. He's hitting home runs, hitting the ball in the air more than he has. The bat speed's crazy. He gets on base a ton. He doesn't strike out. He is a complete baseball player, and I don't care how bad his defense is at first. When you hit the ball 120 miles an hour, it doesn't matter to me. Vlad Jr. is awesome. He's so good, and I'm really happy for Blue Jays fans they locked him down long term. I know I wanted him on the Mets. That was kind of being an annoying Mets fan with Steve Cohen money. It's good for baseball that Vladdy stayed in Toronto with the Blue Jays. Number 23, we're looking at Hunter Brown of the Houston Astros. Okay, Hunter Brown, I know he's had some rough starts of recent, hasn't been completely locked in as he was at the beginning of the year, but he is the 5th most valuable pitcher in terms of FWAR this year, a 2.45 ERA, a great whip. The FIP is below 3. Hunter Brown is awesome. He is an ace. This is a very fair spot for him. It's crazy how good those front two guys for the Astros are with Brown and Framber. Number 22, Julio Rodriguez. Yeah, I mean, he's done it again. It's the summer, and Julio Rodriguez is like, what if I go back to being an MVP player? Elite defense, runs the bases well, great power, and the numbers for the full season look really good for J-Rod after a putrid start yet again. This is a declaration on the GiraffeNeckMarc channel. We will not overreact to Julio Rodriguez numbers until after the All-Star break. Like, we're just not going to do it because he's got the OPS up to 772. It's still not great, but he's been scalding hot. He's going to stay hot. 24 homers, 23 stolen bases on the year. He's 96th percentile in OAA. He obviously flies around the bases. He's probably never going to be the player that I hoped he was, which is like a top 5 player in the league. But when he does turn it on, he plays like a top 5 player in the league. Full season-wise consistency, a little shaky, but I'm cool with Julio here. Number 21, Jeremy Pena. I mean, Jeremy Pena is having an unbelievable season. And to be honest, I don't know how sticky it is. There haven't been too many actual changes to his game besides just playing better. Defensively, he is awesome. He's pulling the ball more, which is great. That works really well at Minute Maid or Daikin Park now. He is in his physical prime. 27 years old is the start of the peak. He's having a really good year. 13 homers, 17 stolen bases, 865 OPS. I don't think I'm putting Jeremy Pena inside the top 20 on my rankings, but in terms of value right now, yeah, he's been one of the most valuable players. He's saving this Astros team because offensively, there have been some disappointments. Getting the top 20 start at number 20, we've got Ketel Marte way too low. Ketel Marte is a top 10 player in baseball. This one's got me pissed. This is one of my rants. He plays great defense at second base. This is now the second season in a row where he's going to have an OPS well above 900, 955 right now, 23 home runs. If he played a full healthy season, we're looking at a second baseman who plays good defense, gets on base, hits home runs, is one of the best offensive players in the league at a position where there isn't even that much offensive value typically. Ketel Marte is a top 10 player in the league. Get out of here with this. This is not even close. 20? Who's ahead of him? This next one's going to piss me off. I know. At number 19, we've got Christopher Sanchez. Yeah, it pisses me off. Christopher Sanchez is really, really good, and I don't want this to be anti-Christopher Sanchez. If it wasn't for Paul Skeens, he's probably the Cy Young Award winner in the National League right now. But Ketel Marte is better. That being said, this is a fine spot for Christopher Sanchez. I actually think top 20 is completely and utterly acceptable for where he belongs to be. It's just Ketel Marte is better. This is going to turn into the Ketel Marte rant. Christopher Sanchez is sick, though, by the way. Number 18. Who do we got at 18? Corbin Carroll. We're ranking Corbin Carroll ahead of Ketel Marte? No. I love Corbin. He's awesome. His numbers are not better than Ketel Marte. I guess because he's so elite defensively in the outfield, maybe that's what they're giving him, is that he's got the power, he steals bases, he's one of the best base runners in baseball, and he plays elite defense. I'm still taking Ketel Marte. I am. Right now, Ketel Marte is the more valuable player. I just think that's how it is. That being said, Corbin Carroll should be in the top 20 as well. I agree. I think he's the top 20 player in the league. Number 17, Manny Machado. Machado is really good. The one thing I'm going to say defensively has been horrible this year. I don't think he's a bad defensive third baseman, but maybe at age 33, age 34, we start to see a defensive decline in Machado's game. We know that last year he DH'd a lot. There's been some nagging injuries. Offensively, he's awesome. He's great. 20 homers, 300 average, 840, 850 OPS. I love Manny Machado as a player. I don't put him ahead of Ketel Marte, that's for sure. But he is sick. He's a top 25 player. At number 16, we've got Will Smith. Yeah, Will Smith definitely belongs here. Will Smith is quietly having one of the best seasons in Major League Baseball this year. 940 OPS, 300 batting average, 400 on base percentage. He's walking like crazy. The barrel rates are great. He's playing good defense behind home plate. He's not great at framing, but we know that that's going to be a skill that's not really important in a couple years when ABS comes in. He's good at throwing out runners. runners. That's way more important right now. He's got some pop in that bat. Will Smith is definitely a top 20 player in the league. I'm okay if you wanted to tell me Will Smith ahead of Ketel Marte, even though I still like Ketel Marte more, but because of the positional value at catcher, I'd understand it. But Ketel Marte is still top 10. At number 15, we've got Elly De La Cruz. Okay, not better than Ketel Marte right now. Definitely not better. I love Elly as a player. I don't know if he's a top 15 player at this exact moment. Is he? I'm leaning towards no. I'm leaning towards more top 25. And this is from someone who is an Elly fanboy. I think Elly's amazing. But I think this year, production-wise, it's still not at that level yet where we can put him ahead of some of the guys behind him. So I think this one's a bit of a miss, even though I love Elly, and he's going to lead the Reds to the playoffs, and the Mets are going to miss it. But Elly's a beast. He's a top 20 player. Number 14, Kyle Schwarber. Yeah, Kyle Schwarber's awesome. Kyle Schwarber's great. I mean, the power's insane. I do think that even though he is just a DH, he's pretty incredible. Now, that being said, in terms of like WRC plus, OPS plus, there are comparable players who also play the field. So this might be a little hyperbole with Kyle Schwarber because a DH being this ranked this high, like he's not even hitting as well as Ohtani, and we're putting him in the top 15 ahead of Ketel Marte, ahead of Will Smith, who catches every day, ahead of Julio Rodriguez, who's playing elite center field defense, ahead of Byron Buxton. I haven't seen Fernando Tatis Jr. yet on this list, so I'm interested to see where he is. He better be ranked. If they didn't rank him in the top 50, I'm going to go crazy. I think Schwarber is a top 30 player. I think he's incredible. I think he's in the MVP conversation, but I don't know. This might be a little bit too high for me. I don't know. You guys can yell at me in the comments. Number 13, Fernando Tatis Jr. Yeah, definitely. I think we might be overrating him a little bit too. Again, Ketel Marte is just straight up better. I think Corbin Carroll's better. I think Tatis has the ability to be a top 10 player in the league, but 17 homers, 129 WRC plus, playing good defense out in right field. Like, I don't know how much better that is than a lot of the guys that were listed behind him. Again, top 25 player, but this feels like a little aggressive right now, especially because, again, he hasn't reached his offensive heights that we had hoped for. Number 12, who are we going to see at number 12? Juan Soto. I mean, listen, I'll take it. Juan Soto is having a down season for him offensively, which is funny to say because 146 WRC plus, that is still top 10 in Major League Baseball, which is very funny to say out loud. Defensively, he's horrible. I get it. He's terrible out in right field defensively, really, really bad. I think this is a fine spot for him. I think you can make an argument he's still a top 10 guy, but that's really based off only offense. And if I'm going to say the things about Schwarber, who's having a better offensive season, I got to say the same things about Soto. I think this is a fair spot. Number 11, just missing on the top 10, Kyle Tucker. Yeah, I mean, he started off the season so hot, so good, but he has been a little bit cold recently. Not a lot of power coming out of Kyle Tucker's bat in the summer months in Chicago. It's definitely hurting his free agent market a little bit, which is probably good for the Cubs because they don't want to spend all that money. He is still a borderline top 10 player in the league. I totally buy that. He still is a good outfielder, still gets on base a ton, still steals bases, is a 5-tool player, but the slump is a little bit weird. Something to keep an eye out. Let's see this top 10. Getting the top 10 started at number 10, Garrett Crochet. Ooh, I love this. Garrett Crochet is awesome. Garrett Crochet is a Cy Young favorite, I believe. If it wasn't for Tarek Skubal, and even still then, you can make an argument that he might have a better case. Their numbers are incredibly similar. And debatably, the AL East pitching in that division is better than pitching in the AL Central. So I am interested to see what people do with this. And simply put, Garrett Crochet is one of the best pitchers in baseball. I mean, it's a huge reason why the Red Sox are having the success that they have and why they are a dangerous team come playoff time. At number 9, we've got Zach Wheeler of the Phillies. Yeah, I mean, Wheeler's awesome. We know the deal. He's been amazing ever since he went to Philadelphia. He was amazing his last season with the Mets. He's got an ERA below 3. He throws the most innings in baseball pretty much every single year. The fastball's electric. Zach Wheeler is awesome. He is one of the best pitchers of this generation. He's definitely a top 10 player in the season right now based on the impact that he can make. At number 8, who do we got at number 8 here? J-Ram, Jose Ramirez. Love this so much. J-Ram is he's a first ballot Hall of Famer. I think we're going to look back so insanely fondly on Jose Ramirez's career when it's said and done because you're just looking at a guy who now for almost 10 straight seasons is like 30-30 with a 900 OPS, playing good defense, stealing 20 bases a year. Like, he is so incredibly good. This season, 25 homers, 35 stolen bases, 143 WRC plus, striking out almost 10% of the time, walking almost 10% of the time. The power is legit. The defense is amazing. Jose Ramirez is just criminally underrated in the grand scheme of baseball as a whole. This could be the best third baseman maybe to ever play the game. Number 7, Pete Crow Armstrong. So, yes, but he's definitely falling down. He has been ice cold recently. The defense is elite in center field, one of the most valuable positions on the field. There is nobody better in center than PCA defensively. At the plate, the numbers have fallen off a bit. We're down to a 122 WRC plus, which is still phenomenal, but I am interested to see where PCA's numbers end for the season. I don't think at this exact moment I would have him as a top 10 player. I'd be interested to see what his numbers look like by the end of the year. The jury is still out, but he is clearly a top 25 player in the league. He's awesome. I just don't know how high he goes yet because of this cold stretch, because of what the numbers could look like by the end of the year. But there's not many guys who can do what PCA can. Number 6, Paul Skeens. Yeah, I mean, I think you can make the argument that Paul Skeens is one of the 3 best players in baseball. I think he is undoubtedly the best pitcher in baseball right now. I do think he's better than Tarek Skubal. It's not by much. I think they're neck and neck, and I think Garrett Crochet is in that conversation as well. But what we've seen Skeens do now over these 2 seasons is pretty insane. ERA in the low 2s. He doesn't let up any base runners. He's not even throwing 102 anymore because he doesn't need to. We're seeing what could be the start of a dominant Hall of Fame career for a player in Paul Skeens, who is just simply, in my opinion, the best pitcher in baseball. I just don't know how you hit him any night. I don't know how anybody hits this guy. At number 5, getting the top 5 started, Bobby Witt Jr. Yeah, I mean, I'm cool with it. Bobby Witt remains one of the most productive players in baseball all year. He's kind of the shortstop version of what PCA is doing this season, where the offensive numbers aren't through the roof like they were the last couple seasons. 125 WRC plus is still great, especially with his defense and base running, and based on what we've seen him do the last few years, he's a top 10 player in the league without a doubt. At the shortstop position, it's incredibly valuable. Love Bobby Witt Jr. as a player. All right, number 4. Who are we going at 4? Cal Raleigh. Yeah, I'm cool with it. I'm completely okay with saying that. Now, Cal Raleigh has been ice cold basically since the All-Star break. It's pretty much home run or bust, but still, at the end of the day, playing the catcher position with elite defense, we're seeing a 156 WRC plus, 45 home runs, 98 RBIs, and 13 stolen bases casually from a catcher is unbelievable. Yes, Cal Raleigh is a top 10 player in baseball. There's no doubt about it. Big Dumper is that dude. Number 3, are we going to see? So we got Ohtani, Judge, and then who's going to be the other guy? I guess Tarek Skubal, right? Tarek is going to be here. He's probably number 3. Tarek Skubal at number 3. I'm cool with it. Like I said, you could make the argument for him, Crochet, or Paul Skeens as the best pitcher in baseball. Skubal continues to put that Tigers rotation on his absolute back. He's a stud. 152 innings, a 2.42 ERA, a FIP at 2.26. He is, in terms of FWAR, the highest valued pitcher in baseball. And yeah, here's a big one. His strikeout to walk ratio is one of the highest of all time. He strikes out everybody, doesn't walk anybody. He is unbelievably good. That might be, honestly, what still keeps him ahead of Paul Skeens. Nobody gets on base. He doesn't walk anybody. A 1.36 walk per 9 is crazy. Crazy. Number 2, it's going to be Ohtani, I'm assuming, or it's going to be Judge. It's Shohei Ohtani. I will say this, now that he's pitching again in the way that he has been pitching and how good he's looked pitching and how good he is at the plate, it's really, really close. Because right now we're seeing Ohtani have an over 1,000 OPS at the plate, 43 homers, 181 OPS plus. And then on the mound for the season for Shohei Ohtani, he's only pitched 23 innings. It's a small sample, but he has a 3.4 ERA. He's striking out like 30% of the batters he's facing, not walking anybody. When he pitches and actually becomes a real, true starting pitcher, he is the best player in baseball. You just can't find that value. A guy who's one of the best hitters in the league and one of the best pitchers, that doesn't exist. Shohei Ohtani at 2 is fine. I think he's probably number 1 by the end of the season. But of course, that rightfully belongs to Aaron Judge as of right now. I had him as the best player coming into baseball going into this season again because I didn't think Ohtani was going to pitch. Aaron Judge is literally on one of the craziest runs we've ever seen in Major League Baseball. He's having a prime similar to that of Barry Bonds, where this is now the 4th straight season in a row with an OPS over 1,000. This will be the 3rd season out of 4 with an OPS above 1,100. In those 4 seasons, and keep in mind, 2 of them, he's only played basically 110 games. He's hit nearly 200 home runs with an OPS at 1112, batting average well over 300. He's averaging over 100 RBIs a year. Like, he's so good. Aaron Judge is one of the best baseball players I've ever watched play. No matter who you have at 1 or 2, it's not wrong. They're 1A, 1B. They're both ridiculously good baseball players. I'd love to know what you guys think about ESPN's list down in the comment section below. It wasn't that bad. I think Ketel Marte not being in the top 10 was criminal. I think James Wood is way too low. And I think maybe even guys like Francisco Lindor were a little bit too high, but I'd love to know what you guys think down in the comment section. Drop a like on the video if you did enjoy it, as well as subscribe so you don't miss out on any of the content. Follow me on all my social media, GiraffeNeckMarc. Links are in description. That's where I'll wrap it up. You guys know the drill from here on out. YouTube recommends you watch this video. This is my most recent upload, so click through those if you have not yet seen them. Thank you guys for watching. I'll catch you all in the next video. Bye.